Hello, good morning, everybody. This panel is going to be in English. Welcome to this panel about DMOcracy, as we call it. What we are going to do today, together with our guests, is discuss with you about strategies and actions aimed at empowering citizens and make them, in order to make them actually key players in tourism strategy and tourism development. Why this? Because if on the one hand tourism is growing everywhere in Italy and in Europe, on the other hand perception of what tourism can bring about, the benefits, the flip sides, is not as perceived as much shared. So this is why having citizens on board is so relevant to us all. In order to have examples, actual examples, and insights about this issue, we are having today with us, and I warmly welcome and thank them for being here, Max.
Grazie.
From Munich Tourist Board, where he serves as head of media relations. Roberta Agosti, who's managing director for the Bolzano Tourist Board, and Maddalena Pellizzari, who serves as manager of the tourism economy unit at the Trentino School of Management. Max Berger, by the way. I was forgetting your family name.
Max is totally fine.
But after this, I'm going to leave the floor to Max. Straightforward. We're going to have a few frontal presentations and then kind of a round table. Please, the floor is yours.
Grazie mille, Giovanni. Buongiorno a tutti, and I'm really sorry, because of me, we have to switch to English. Even though Munich is called the most northern city of Italy, my Italian, unfortunately, is not good enough for this presentation, but for next time I will try. Okay, so thank you, Giovanni, for the introduction. Yes, I'm going to talk about our local love campaign, which is called Viertelliebe in German and L'amore dei quartieri all'italiano. So it's basically about the different neighborhoods in Munich. But first of all, a little introduction to Munich, even though probably or hopefully most of you already know Munich. So a little bit about Munich. As you might know, Munich is quite internationally known for Old Town architecture, Gothic style, the Hofbräuhaus, of course. A few of you probably have been there already. Then beer, pretzels, of course, which is a big part of the culture. A big economical city with economy like BMW, and of course the football, as well as the Olympic city of '72, and of course the Oktoberfest, as you might know, or as you call it here, Festa di Birra. So here's some Italian visitors. Talking about all those big images you have in mind, probably already about Munich, it's pretty tough to make a change in minds of guests and visitors to visit Munich in a maybe different way. So, and going back to 2019, we already were faced with a buzzword called like overcrowding, over-tourism, and certain places within the city were already pretty much filled, and we had panel discussions about overcrowding and over-tourism in the city, and we're discussing solutions and how we could manage. So Munich is a city with nowadays almost 20 million overnight stays, so we are in the top 10 of Europe, and of course this brings the challenges as well. And then, then COVID happened and all the problems were gone. We had new problems then. Of course, the panic was great during this time, especially at the beginning. But for us, the Munich Tourism Board, we had, after some time where we had to reassemble a little bit, we had time to think about solutions for a long-term project and program. So what we came out with was the Local Love campaign, which is basically, during the COVID time, lots of the people had time to discover their own city on their own way, and we were going on long walks through the neighborhoods, and finding out that there's much more to discover in the own city. And so we designed and developed a campaign which is like more likely a natural thing which came to us in a situation where all the overseas markets broke away, that we defined 10 different neighborhoods within the city, formed them in different characteristics, because like going back in the history of Munich, because Munich is an old city, but it's not that super old, like when you compare it to Florence. And there were different little villages in the surrounding of Munich, which were even like older. And still until today, you would find like little village-style center places within the city, and they still kept the characteristic of themselves over the decades and centuries. And of course, it's a pretty emotional topic as well for the citizens, where they live within the city, and so they keep that in mind. Well, what we're trying to achieve with the Local Love campaign is also to direct and to ease a little bit the pressure of the Old Town visitors into the different neighborhoods and to spread them a little bit out. Also, we wanted to, well, let's say, match the needs and what modern travelers nowadays want to see and to experience within the city, and trying to give them new opportunities how to discover a city. And well, of course, we wanted to try to foster more the local businesses in the different neighborhoods, because as you can imagine, in the big shopping streets in the city center, you would find all the big brands you could find everywhere, and so the local business does not really participate that much anymore, like in the old days from the tourism. And spreading the visitors out in the different neighborhoods where they can find little boutiques and stuff like that, little bakeries, etc., etc. That's where, people can participate from. So, in the end, giving new inspiration to discover a city a new way. And so, when we overlook Munich, they can see that we created some nice content. This, for example, is the neighborhood of Giesing, which is pretty famously known for football, for good beer bars, etc. Heidhausen, which is our French quarter, very like characteristics of a French neighborhood. The Glockenbach Viertel, which is pretty well known for the LGBTQI community. So they all have the different characteristics, and we try to promote that as well. Neuhausen-Nymphenburg, for example, is a pretty royal quarter where the Castle Nymphenburg lies, for example, and so on. What we did is not just communication, but also we are trying to offer like guided tours, and this is a very big of a key part where we try to match the locals together with the guests and the visitors of the city, because like offering those guided tours, we figured out the participation is 50-50 tourists and locals. And this is basically a great thing where the locals and the visitors have the same experience together. They learn together something new about the destination and where they live. And they meet and match, and that's where we bring people together, and that's basically a really nice thing to have. Of course, we are trying to include local businesses to give certain tips for every neighborhood, where to go for a cafe, where to go for shopping, etc. And we created the Local Love Ambassador program, and there you can see our 5 ambassadors right now. So we've found local, let's say, personalities, which are our speakers and our ambassadors for the campaign. We have a local baker who tries to bring up again old recipes from old German bread. We have a chef who shows that we can also make pasta, as you can see here. And we have a local comedian and a designer for like the dinner dresses. So, and they all can be experienced in their own shops, etc. And they are our ambassadors for the campaign, which is a key part as well. Well, and of course we are trying to design a more hybrid marketing plan, so not just in our core markets, in the foreign markets, in the European markets, but also in the local market, which is also important to communicate in both ways. Working with local content creators and media. And in the end, of course, we have to to measure it, and surveys show basically that it's very well accepted, and yeah, people really appreciate also that the neighborhoods where they live get a platform, and so it's nice to see that the local tourism board also cares about where people live and not just the main attractions in the city center. I'm taking too long, I know, sorry. Giovanni was asking me about some challenges we're forcing, trying to go through there quite quickly. Of course, it's not easy to handling the expectations of certain visitors, because if you're a visitor from overseas and you want to tick up all the big boxes of main attractions, you would have it here in Florence as well, then of course you are not willing to maybe go to one of those neighborhoods first before you tick off the boxes of the main attractions in the city. I had a press group, internationally spread press group, and they were like, oh, what the fuck is Schlachthofviertel? And so they were expecting all the big beer halls, etc., and so it wasn't too easy to handle that. Well then, how much participation is too much? Because living spaces and the neighborhoods are where the locals are, well, dwelling, and so, okay, I'll hurry up. As you can imagine, too much participation is not a good thing as well, because facing the tourists with the locals can be challenging as well. And of course, changing that image showed you first to change it is sometimes harder than to create one. And the partnership management is also not easy, because the big partners in Munich are not those we are trying to address with the campaign. Well, that's it. That's me for now, sorry.
Thank you very much, Max. And I leave the floor to Roberta Agosti then for her presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Please.
for your invitation. Thank you for matching these two words, DMOs and democracy. And maybe it could be a mission, maybe impossible, and I would try to explain how can ideas be realized. I will try, and to find some solution also for you. Some topics about Bolzano. Bolzano is the capital of South Tyrol. We are speaking of about 108,000 inhabitants. We have 5,300 beds, official good beds, and an overnight of 1 million. So the intensity of tourism in Bolzano is 9. Not comparable with the intensity of the rest of South Tyrol. The average stay in town is 2.3 nights. So we are speaking about a very important destination, which has become a destination in the last years. We have growing trends, 40% in the last 10 years, but with many shadows also. So the tourism has grown very quickly in town, especially in the central area of the town, and that's the real question, how we can get some measures to make population accept tourism in Bolzano. We would like, and we are doing many actions to improve the touristical culture. We want to engage. Oh, I have forgot to make. Yes, we would like to improve the engagement of population in our projects, and also the opportunity for local people to meet tourists. And that's a real effort we have in the next year. So to the top one, how to expand touristical interest in the whole town. We can't manage it. We can just put the town in condition to have beds also in the quarters. And that's a big opportunity to make tourism also in the quarter. We don't have so many different characteristics in the quarters of Bolzano. It's a very uniform town. There is a very beautiful central area, but the other quarters are not so one different from the other. So it's not very easy. One argument is certainly the economical development, but not just money. We believe that cultural development is very important, and the opportunity that tourism gives to the population to meet, to speak other languages, to know other cultures, to host people who see our town with another view. That's very important. And also, and that's the big question, I think, of the future, which could also make young people be interested in this development, is to build up responsibility for their own living space. We might stop speaking about over-tourism, overcrowding. We have to speak about living space, of opportunities in the future of development in this direction. I think that's the right way. We think it. So how we are doing that, how we improve touristic culture. We are going into schools, not the small children, but others, scuole medie and the upper schools, to speak about tourism, to speak about the organization in South Tyrol with the structure, because nobody knows really why, and all these people from all over the world come to Bolzano. We try to speak about the history of tourism in town, because it's an authentic thing. It's not just invented by some hotels or some people who wanted to make money. It's part of our history. We were a merchant town in the Middle Ages, and we are now also open to another art of business and also of leisure tourism. And we work for our living space. Everything we do as DMO, organizing events, bringing journalists into town, is to work for our city, not the touristical or the other city. The city is one, and it's a living space for all people who share it for their life, but also for a few days. So they are just not permanent living people in town. So I brought some examples to share, to show how the engagement of local people can be realized in the Christmas market. That's the biggest event we have. It's opening in a few weeks in Bolzano. So we have engaged local music. That's very important to make the event be accepted from local people. The guided tours, so a perfect meeting opportunity between a tourist and local person. Program for children, so the most families that come to the Christmas market during the week are local people, and they see what we do for our guests in our common living space. The Christmas walk is a particular way of knowing the city, touching the 5 quarters. We just have the opportunity to win something if you go all the points of the Christmas walk, and find and win a particular action with the local museums, also the ones in the quarters, in order to make people to visit them. So, and the last one. Yes, the other opportunity, thank you, Maddalena. So, meeting of people in free time, so matching tourists with local people. We organize some special opportunities to St. Valentine in February. We organize a concert in Ferragosto. Most of local people come, not so many tourists, but other. The opening of the Christmas market is a very popular thing for people living in town. And yes, and trying to think when we plan a new event or everything we do, just making local people come first and give them a chance for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roberta. And now, Maddalena, the floor is yours. The mic is yours, please.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, sorry, everybody. I'm delighted to be here today and have the opportunity to share with you some consideration about community engagement, community involvement, and participation. Thank BTO to organizing this important panel and event for the second time at BTO. For inviting me to contribute to the discussion, and a particular thank to Giovanni for organizing and supporting my speech on this panel. I'm Maddalena Pellizzari, and I lead the tourism area in TSM, Trentino School of Management. TSM is the advanced training school established by the province of Trento, by the autonomous region Trentino Alto Adige Süd Tirol, and the University of Trento. At TSM, we aim, we design, we manage training programs, we conduct research, and we implement projects to support our partner staff and to contribute to the development in Trentino. And in particular, with my team, I collaborate with various forms of stakeholders, such as DMOs, Trentino Marketing, I say in Italian, parks, municipality, and so other organizations, to imagine, to guide, to design the possible future for our territories and for the communities which live in there. And at the tourism area, we promote an holistic approach to tourism development, where learning, experimentation, collaboration, and participation is a key drivers of a more competitive and responsible tourism system. For 3 years, we have worked in a small area in Trentino called Giudicarie Centrali Esteriori. And this is a small area, fragile area that facing typical challenges of marginal area, such as the population, age population, or talent drain. And we have the commitment to define a possible strategy of development. And over this time, we implemented different kinds, various forms to engage the community and the local partners. And using this case as an example today, I will focus 2 different aspects related on our panel. The first is that participation is not just a planning tool or a way of getting people involved, but is a genuine form of governance. And the second aspect focus on participation as a learning opportunity. In fact, where people, community, stakeholder, administration, and so on are involved, they develop new skills and a new understanding of the context. Our experience involved a municipality in this small area, and our focus was on setting the sorry, I don't see the slide. And our focus is, thank you much, setting realistic goals and concrete action to make the area more appealing for new generation, enhance local identity, improve the quality of the local services such as health, mobility, and education, and define a possible sustainable development. And the development in this inner area, fragile area, is based on the idea that improving the quality people of life must be the heart of every development strategy. And this is achieved through a participatory and place-based approach. And in this context, tourism represents a decisive lever for reactivating local resources, nature, culture, knowledge, and communities. Our project falls within the framework of SNAI, is a National Strategy of Inner Area, a public policy in Italian that aims to promote the development and cohesion in disadvantaged areas. And the aim is to reverse the population, marginalization, and other negative questions, create a new job opportunity, involve local stakeholder and local community, and promote a new way of development. And this is our work. And the SNAI is based on the fundamental assumption that the knowledge required to address marginalization already exists within these territories. And for this is the reason that participation of local stakeholders is crucial, because it encourages the sharing of experience, skills, and ideas on community and helps to build relationship and trust. And in the Giudicaria area, we organize information session, participatory workshop to identify local needs, to listen to community, and to inform the area strategic development plan. We applied between 2023 and 2024 a range of tools and methods. A survey open to all residents, open to all city, made of 8 questions, an information evening, and 6 thematic working groups, and at least a series of an interview to the community. And this experience that I briefly described you has shown us that participation move from design to manage and governance. If the strategies if approach we are awaiting on evaluation in this moment, participatory will evolve from open workshop to more structured and enduring form of engagement, such as permanent working group or other formalizing cooperative form. True participation is valuable when it continues into implementation phases, becoming an integral part of decision-making and management. The second question is, the participation can involve several levels. I worked in a small area with 8 municipalities, but we sent our document, our strategy to the province, and then we sent the document to the ministry. It's a 3 level of participation and institution. And finally, participation is a learning ability process because giving stakeholders to change idea, to know each other, to deeper, a more understanding of our context has improved our skill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maddalena. So we are now done with the frontal part, and we got 18 minutes left for a discussion among the 3 of us. So thank you, because really we got plenty of insights and of different approaches to a common research and practical question. There are many considerations that could be made, since, moreover, we got destinations of different size. So we got a metropolis like Munich, we got a large city in our country like Bozen, we got marginalized areas, smaller areas. There are probably, ingredients that are common for all cases, others that are different from one another, but the challenge is the same for everybody. I mean, it's something that has been named or not, is how to make tourism more accepted by locals. So my first question for Max would be, you told us about service, right? In your service, do you try to address this specific question? So how much residents have come to more get to a better acceptance of visitors flowing to the city with 20 million overnight stays in Munich? Do you cope with that?
Right, it's basically all about communication to reach the people, because the problem is in our work as a tourism destination, we never really had the channels to reach the citizens, because we always focused on the markets, and now this shifts a little bit and now gives us the challenge to somehow create channels or ways how to reach both target groups. Or I don't know if you're speaking of a target group, but of course someone who has to be reached somehow. And making people aware of the advantages of good working tourism in the city is, I think, is a challenge or a task for not just us as a tourism board, but of course also politics and everyone who is somehow involved. Basically, we are pretty lucky. We have, besides our organization, Munich Tourism, we have conclusion and association of all big players of the tourism industry in Munich. And we are closely working together with them, and they are a good, let's say, they speak up for our topics as well, and they're a good communicator and multiplicator for our challenges. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Roberta, I was impressed with your concept of making youngsters and, I mean, citizens at large more responsible for their own living space. Can you add a little bit on that, and how do you make them key players in the touristic movement?
Yes, we are the first who have been responsible for our living space. So through the politics, through the institutions, through the cultural institution, everyone, single people, guides or music groups or who's working with us. For example, we are sharing the label of green event of the Christmas market with each exhibitors of the market, and we are controlling that each exhibitor of the Christmas market is respecting these rules. That's a question of, yes, we want to be credible for our labels, for example. And I think including and explaining, you have the same problem in Munich, I think so. So the first communication, we made it abroad. We inform people that we have a very beautiful city, we have many interesting events in town, so we are calling people to come to our town. And what are we doing for our people? We want to share everything, every action we make with local people through newsletter, through information, through communicating. We have a board, Consiglio di Amministrazione, so a managing board, which is composed of economical organizations of the town. They have also the duty to communicate our efforts, the intern efforts, to their how do you say, the soci, the
partners, stakeholders.
To their stakeholders. So it would be an idea or a dream to have 108,000 stakeholders in Bolzano-Bozen.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you. Maddalena, so you told us about how develop and deploy participatory processes. What are the main challenges and limitations of this kind of processes in your experience? Maybe this one?
Okay. Thank Giovanni. It's a very important question because participation is a demanding process for institution, people, community to engage with. And formulating our vision, our strategy for our territories is articulated as an equator or quick or fast. And I think participation processes required time, require patience, required coordination, and a little bit of crazy and courage. And sometimes it takes many discussions before reaching a shared vision or an idea for our territories. Yes, it can be trying. People also may lose motivation, may lose energy, and when, in particular, where the things shared and moving too slowly. And the other end, people was tired, where the things moving too fast. Is difficult to balance with two different questions. In judiciary areas in particular, the initial participation phase was quite fast. But defining the strategy, defining the action, defining the object and the goal took several months. And now we are in a new waiting phase. The action is stopped. We are waiting for the evaluation for the province and in particular from the ministry, and we are waiting. And in this particular phase, some stakeholders are no longer involved, and we have no information, no works to do these stakeholders. And there are the risks, there's enthusiasm, that energy, that time that the people shared for the project, for idea, for definition, strategy is may lost. And for my experience, one of the most challenges is maintaining engagement, maintaining involvement, and maintaining this energy and this engagement with the stakeholder, administrator, and the community. It's important to keep people informed. It's stay in touch and listen to, and helps to wait or to reactivate in the very faster. And I don't have a solution for this, but I think that one possible way is institutionalizing participation. Create a permanent space where the dialogue continues from the initial phases to the implementation phases and to monitoring phases. Create a circle where the community were almost engaged.
Okay, we got 8 minutes left. One last question, which is the same for everybody. So Max was saying, you know what? It is just not only the tourist board which has to do this kind of process, and we are trying to get politicians involved and stakeholders involved. The three of you has been talking largely already about stakeholders' involvement, but I would ask you if you can articulate a little bit more on the actions that you carried out in order to have stakeholders on board in your projects.
Well, in Munich, as I mentioned, we are closely working together with the association of all big tourism stakeholders. It's called the Munich Modello Monaco. And so we even have a shared fund. So means our campaign money comes 50-50 from the city as well as from the big stakeholders. So, and before we can spend the money or create new ideas about a new campaign, etc., of course we have to talk with the association first. And we both agree on what we are doing in the next years. So also on the strategy as well as on the measurements we are taking on the markets, etc. So everything we are doing, we already have approved normally with all 2 boards. And that happens always like next week, for example, now. And so we are making plans together for the upcoming year. Of course, makes it more complicated, more talking, more people involved. But on the other hand, we have no discussion for the next year or during the year of the measurements and the markets we are taking on. So that makes it, at the end of the day, way easier. And and we have them on board. So that's one of the measures we are taking. It's a pretty special situation with the fund we have together. I don't know where in Europe other destinations do stuff like that, but yeah, so this is how we manage that.
That's a great example. Having strategy in common, but even money in common, makes everybody more responsible. That's a great point. Thank you. Roberta?
Yes, I think it's the same answer, just another dimension. So we have many stakeholders. Stakeholders share our strategy because we discuss with them, we discuss with politics, we discuss with people who come to us, who work with us. The real chance is to get people that are not in this communication roundtable we have daily. So how can we change this? One thing is to go in the quarters, in the politics of the quarters. The big politic in the town, in the mayor, is communicating very much with the local organization, but not in tourism matters. I think we have to make appointments, to fix appointments, and speak about our activity, and to find points of cooperation with them. Also with money, but I don't think that just money can solve all the problems. It's again a thing of responsibility of our town, and that's the big word for now and for the future.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. In judiciary areas, we implemented different kind to engage stakeholder and community. This is a small area, I said area, but a very extended area. And the difficulty is to engagement all the people, because our strategy is not focused only on the tourism, but it also involves other point of interest for the community. In fact, we organize 6 thematic working groups, 6 thematic tables, focus on the topic of the slide policy in Italian. And there's 6 groups are focused on mobility, education, educational, health, agriculture, industry, and tourism. And the difficult are share the idea and create a only strategy for the territories that pay attention to the different kind of needs of the stakeholder and the community, and respond to the objective of the strategy. And try more information, we have create a working group during the initial phases of the strategy to identify local needs, to listen to the community, and we create the second working group for the second phases of the strategy, where we have drafted the documents. And in this second phase, second time, we are involved administrator, local community, stakeholder, association, and it's a very tired phase. And the difficulty is to balance to three different of participation: local with the community and stakeholder, to province with the idea of the strategy of all Trentino, and ministry that are your idea for not only for Trentino but for the Italian.
Thank you very much. We are now at the end of our journey for today. I would like to thank you again, the three of you. We have grasped examples of participation and active involvement of citizens and stakeholders from different realities with different size from different countries. Hope it has been energizing for other administrators, policymakers or destination managers in the room, and let's keep in touch. You got the emails of our colleagues here, and have fun here at BTO. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.